This video is sponsored by Magic Spoon.
With the new Apple Watch Ultra, Apple Watch Series 8, and Apple Watch SE, Apple has created their most expansive Apple Watch lineup ever. And with this new lineup, Apple now has a watch for almost anyone. With a mature platform that is packed with a plethora of features, these devices have never been more capable and more accessible, which means if you aren't wearing an Apple Watch yet, you need to. And listen, health and fitness should be on your mind, especially if you're planning to buy an Apple Watch. But it doesn't matter how much you lift or how far you run if your nutrition isn't in check. And it's why I've been starting out my mornings with Magic Spoon. I love cereal. It's one of my favorite things to eat for breakfast and also as a midnight snack. But as I got older and more into fitness, I couldn't justify eating cereals with high sugar and very little nutritional value. Magic Spoon is cereal reinvented, with 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 to 5 net grams of carbs in each serving. And that protein amount has been very important to me as I have been hitting the gym and starting a weightlifting regimen. Basically, a lack of adequate protein means no muscle growth, and with that much protein packed into every Magic Spoon, you know I'm having no trouble getting the gains. Seriously, not only is Magic Spoon better for you, but it tastes better too. And each variety box includes 4 delicious flavors like cocoa, peanut butter, frosted, and my personal favorite, fruity. And the peanut butter flavor also tastes great even without milk. It's perfect as a post-workout snack. And it's easy to find your personal favorite by clicking the link below to grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use the promo code GregsGadgets at checkout to get $5 off your order, or go to magicspoon.com/GregsGadgets. So thank you to Magic Spoon, not only for helping me hit my protein goals, but for also sponsoring this video. So yes, you guessed it, one of the first reasons why you need to be wearing an Apple Watch is for fitness. That is my #1 reason for strapping the Apple Watch onto my wrist every single day, and why I won't leave the house without it. The Apple Watch activity rings are key for helping me maintain a healthy lifestyle. I'm able to see how many active calories I burn throughout the day. I'm always checking my ring progress throughout the day, and if I see that my red move ring is behind, or if I get an alert that I've been sitting for too long, I'm able to be reminded that maybe it's time to get up for a quick walk, or remind myself that I need to put in time at the gym later in the day if I've been sedentary for most of the morning. If you're new to the channel, you may not realize that when I first bought my original Apple Watch back in 2015, I was a lot heavier. Like a lot. I weighed in at around 280 pounds, and even in this update video that I made 9 months after getting my first Apple Watch, I was touting how much the Apple Watch helped improve my health by losing 55 pounds, down to 215 pounds. And I still watch that old video pretty amazed that I just kept it going 6 years later and how much more I've progressed since then. Not only by losing more weight, my best goal is around losing 100 pounds in total, but also improving my overall cardiovascular health. First, by taking it easy, just making sure I was hitting everyday step counts of around 10,000 per day, and keeping my activity rings full. The most basic exercises can really go a long way, and I lost most of my initial weight just by walking and being a little bit more mindful of my activity. But from there, I learned new ways to stay healthy, from running something as small as 1 mile to increasing that to a 5K and eventually even a 10K. The Apple Watch's new activity zones have been really helpful in those longer runs, letting me know how long I kept my heart rate in those higher zones, not only for more endurance, but also to focus on fat loss, and also for letting me know when it might be a good idea to scale back, take a break, and cool down. Keeping the exercise rings full and even going beyond that 30-minute recommendation has made me feel healthier, has raised my energy levels, and let me master the Stairmaster. Listen, if you could do 1 hour on the Stairmaster at like level 10 or above, my hat is off to you, because this to me is an exercise that relies so much on willpower as much as it does physical endurance. If you have a pair of AirPods or other Bluetooth headphones, the Apple Watch is the only thing you need to bring with you on your run or to the gym. You can listen to music, podcasts, or audiobooks directly on the watch with the built-in 32 gigabytes of storage, or even stream music and podcasts directly on your watch if you're on Wi-Fi or anywhere that you have a cellular connection with a cellular Apple Watch. If you run outside, just taking the Apple Watch with a pair of AirPods is a magical experience. It's so much easier to focus on your form without a big iPhone bouncing around in your pocket. Pro Max users, they get where I'm coming from. Now, the Apple Watch has grown with me this entire way, from walking to running my first mile to running a 6K, And now I've actually been weight training for the past few months, and each small step on this fitness journey, my Apple Watch has been an invaluable tool helping me keep weight off, and more importantly, improving my overall health. Speaking of health, it's probably the second reason why I continue to wear an Apple Watch every single day. Even the most basic Apple Watch comes with life-saving features like heart rate monitoring, which can alert users of abnormally high or low heart rates. These also support features like fall detection, which isn't just for the elderly. It's also helped younger people get help if they needed emergency services after a hard fall, and it can automatically dial emergency services even if you aren't responsive. It potentially really is a life-saving feature. Please don't dismiss it. And the Apple Watch SE and above even support features like car crash detection, which just came out, but I'm sure in the coming months we will read similar life-saving stories about this feature as well. watchOS 9 also helps you manage your health in other ways, letting you track your sleep with actual useful data metrics now, like how long you were awake in bed, your total deep sleep, your REM sleep, and your core sleep. The Apple Watch SE is a great start, providing the health features that will help the most users overall. But beyond that, there is the Series 8 and the Apple Watch Ultra, which are packed with more health features, like taking an electrocardiogram right on your wrist, which can alert users of possible atrial fibrillation, which is basically an irregular heartbeat, which may require medical attention. It can also measure blood oxygen readings, and the new body temperature sensor on the Series 8 can help women track their cycles and ovulation. These are a growing list of health features, and they can be very important depending on the user, but I feel like almost anyone can find a feature I mentioned above as something they might want to be monitored, and even something as simple as fall detection, again, could prove to be life-saving. Of course, the Apple Watch isn't just for health and fitness. Let's be honest, even though these health features are amazing and might help you out, it's a feature we hope we never have to use, and you probably don't want to buy an Apple Watch only keeping that in mind for a feature you possibly won't ever have to use and hopefully won't have to use. Thankfully, there's a ton of other great reasons why you need an Apple Watch. I think one of the most helpful features is getting notifications, alerts, messages, and phone calls that are always easily within reach on your wrist. It's hard for me to remember a time dealing with constant notifications before the Apple Watch, or the anxiety of waiting for an important phone call or message, constantly having my phone glued to my hand. The Apple Watch surfaces those important notifications with a gentle tap on your wrist, letting you see something as trivial as when a new podcast episode is released, or letting you get notifications from certain Twitter accounts if you want to know the secret to scoring any rare pre-order on a gaming device. You gotta follow Wario64, enable notifications, have an Apple Watch, and as soon as the PlayStation 5 is ready to be up on like Amazon, when there's like a listing, you get the notification, you're able to buy it right away. It's how I scored 2 PS5 pre-orders like in the initial batch. And people are always coming to my house and going, how do you have 2 PS5s? And it's like, you gotta follow Wario64, and you gotta get an Apple Watch. I also like seeing messages on my watch, letting me know if there's an urgent one I need to reply to, and if you do, you can even answer it on your watch using the Scribble keyboard or dictation, and if you have a Series 7, Series 8, or an Apple Watch Ultra, you can even get access to a full QWERTY keyboard, which makes using my Apple Watch as a messaging device much more handy, because even though dictation works really well, if I'm in a public situation, I don't like talking into my Apple Watch. It's just a stigma I have not gotten over yet. The Apple Watch also provides a lot of handy features I use every day. Unlocking other devices is a big one. So if I wear my Apple Watch, I can instantly unlock my Mac or even my iPhone if Face ID fails to authenticate me. The built-in calculator is very handy at restaurants where I need to quickly calculate the tip and split the restaurant bill between multiple people. And when it comes to paying at stores, there are so many contactless payment terminals that support Apple Pay now, so all I need to do is double tap the side button on my watch, and I can just press it against the terminal, and yeah, it pays like that. It's so quick. There's no need to fumble in my pocket for my phone or my wallet. And best of all, there's a lot of times where I leave my phone behind. So especially when I'm going to the gym, if I don't have my wallet on me, I always have my watch on me, so I always have a payment method ready to use. Another big reason to get an Apple Watch in 2022 is because they last even longer on a single charge. watchOS 9 supports a new low power mode that doubles the battery life on an Apple Watch. It does disable some background features, like the always on display, and some health features on certain models, so You may not want to enable this if you want those health features, but if your main concern is you didn't want to charge an Apple Watch every single day, well, I was easily able to make an Apple Watch on low power mode last for 2 full days with battery to spare, with sleep tracking included. The new Apple Watch Ultra promises even more battery life for those of you who need it for multiple days and don't want to sacrifice on features. One regular charge without low power mode can last the same amount of time, 36 hours on a charge, and Apple is even working on an optimized battery mode that will last up to 60 hours of battery life. But that is coming in a software update later this year. And with that new Ultra and the lower cost of the SE model, there's now an Apple Watch for almost anyone, and it's easy to recommend almost any of these models. It's one of the reasons why in 2022, it may be the best time to get your first Apple Watch. You can start as low as $250 for an Apple Watch SE, which gets the same exact performance as the $400 Series 8 and even the $800 Apple Watch Ultra. It does lose out on some health features and the always-on display, but as far as a first Apple Watch goes, this is a great experience for anyone, and it's an excellent watch for parents who want to give their kids messaging or location tracking capabilities, but feel like they aren't ready for the full responsibility of a smartphone yet. The Series 8 is a good step up, providing a lot of health features like the electrocardiogram, the blood oxygen sensor, and the new body temperature sensor, and it can be dressed up with stainless steel finishes. It also includes an always-on display, something that may have prevented you from buying the original Apple Watches when they lacked one during the first few iterations. The Apple Watch Ultra is a whole new category, targeting more extreme users. It has the battery life to last hours and hours no matter what you're doing, even if it's tracking exercise all day, can withstand extreme elements of 100 meters of water, so if you're scuba diving, you can use it for that. It can survive blaring hot sun in the desert, and it's made from a tough titanium design that is focused more on durability rather than being sleek and thin. If you thought the previous Apple Watches couldn't withstand your more extreme regimen, or if you're like me and you're probably just buying one because it has a bigger display, it has a different look, and it has longer battery life, well, then there's not that many excuses anymore to pick up an Apple Watch. There's a lot of great models now. The Apple Watch lineup is the best it has ever been, with more options than ever. A better Apple Watch at the lowest end, a full-featured watch in the middle, and a new class of watch that should win over a new audience entirely. So if you're watching this and you own an iPhone, and you aren't wearing an Apple Watch yet, you need to. And if you are on an older model like a Series 3 or below, well, some of these newer features might be the extra push you needed to upgrade your model this year. All right, everyone, I hope you really found this video helpful. There are so many Apple Watch features now, but these are some of the few that I think why you really need an Apple Watch in 2022. Feel free to let me know if you are planning to buy an Apple Watch after watching this video, or if you already own one. Let me know how you use yours, and are you planning to upgrade this year? And hey, drop me a like while you're at it, subscribe to the channel because I have even more content coming on all of these Apple Watches. And thank you again so much for watching. And hey, I'll catch you in the next one.